I'm going to say this. Um, Austin Malik, he just disappeared. He was right here in the house. He had disappeared because I was going to say something. It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's the king of West Savannah, A Beach High School. It's, bam, Easter Jesus, Jamal Touré in the house. Run, tell that. Run, tell that. We said always, our guests are always special. And we're continuing the conversation we had last week. And we said that all of y'all share, share, share. And we got Austin Malik in the house. How you doing?
All is well, my brother. Good to see
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And so we got someone with us new tonight, joining us tonight, and that's Devontae Sykes. Devontae Sykes, who are you?
Hey, how you doing? I'm a father, first and foremost. I'm also a cloud solution architect at Microsoft, so I'm in the IT industry.
Okay. Where you from?
So originally born in Southeast Georgia. I actually got family in Savannah too. The majority of my family comes from Mount Vernon, Georgia. Then I moved down to Jacksonville, lived in Baltimore for a little bit, and actually graduated from high school in Jacksonville, Florida too.
All right. All right. Cool. Cool. And so, you was in BMO, and we got Duval all in the house again. We continue. So Duval in the house. Duval all in the house. And so we got something for it. We're gonna throw some stuff out there because we're gonna further engage in the conversation. We'll have some other people join us too, but we want to go ahead and make sure folks get some understanding about some things that we're gonna be talking about. And I'm glad Devontae said something about. He said that he's a father because we're gonna get into that also with regards to us and that. Greetings. This is a Gullah observation, and this is some Hilton Head Island history that's pertinent to all of us. So, Hilton Head Island, some of y'all don't realize that they had organizations on this island that exhibit what we call collective worker responsibility, cooperative economics, and unity. See, when integration comes along, it teaches many of us misinformation about our story, the miseducation of the Negro. That's what happens. So some of us, when we talk about some matters, we act like only Asians, Latinos have been the people to come together. We've come together. That's how black folks have survived, by us coming together. And a part of Hilton Head history right here is that you had something called the Farmers Club that my grandmama was the secretary of, the Farmers Club. Members of the Farmers Club were entrepreneurs, not just farmers, but they were business people also. And that, again, that organization helped to catapult them into with regards to economic ventures. But then you also had what we call the Mothers Union, and also the Sisters of Charity, or the Charity Sisters. Black women who are now coming together, making sure that they're taking care of, again, the community, and also not just their individual families, but everyone. Economic ventures right here on Hilton Head Island, but y'all don't talk about it. Miseducation of the Negro. Then you have a group that's called the Boys of Pleasure. My grandfather was a member of the Boys of Pleasure, and guess what? They had owned land. They bought land. They bought land and then could sell the land to other Gullah Geechee people, African Americans, right here on the island, on Hilton Head Island. And some of your families are tied to that, but guess what? You don't tell your story. So somebody else comes along and act like they came with something new about black people coming together, pooling their resources together, like that never happened. That has always happened for us. And some of y'all say, I don't want to know anything about history. That's why you don't want to know anything, because you don't know anything about history at all. That's what made W.W. Law powerful, because he understood that history plays a role in regard to our freedom and liberation. You got to know the story to know how to effectuate the system today. And so the Boys of Pleasure, here you go, a group of black men coming together, buying land and making sure they got together. For Gullah Geechee people, we talk about family compounds. Guess what? On Hilton Head Island, we had extended family compounds. The Gasson has a set of property right there that they purchased they relate to the Bryants that's right next there, right there. Then you got the Walters right next to them, and they're all related. And then you have the Kellisons all related. So again, it was extended family compounds for Gullah Geechee people right here. That's our story. But many of y'all get caught up into the mythology and spitting it out like black people never came together. We've always come together. It's just that you've been miseducated by integration that now you spit it out today like it's brand new, like talking about other people doing something. We did it. Know your story. Stop with the math. So, we are back. And I threw that out there because, again, to engage in this conversation, how do we get back to that? I'm not saying we lost it. How do we get back to? How do we infuse that type of element within our community as brothers? How do we do that with regards to leading the way? That charge for us as a community collective. So we go to you, Austin.
And so I want to tie it all back and make it relevant. This brother right here, Jamal Sykes, he's the one who created the logo that I use to run my campaign. See, little things like that also how black people come together. Not just black people. So I just wanted to get my brother some props on that as well too. You know, black people have always come together. We're the one that's not generation 12. So we have to take the knowledge of the past and make it relevant for the future. Because we're not going nowhere where we came from. Most people don't know. Like I say on the video, education. That's one of the main things was our mind, was our ability to educate by our own. Because they spit out madness, spit out the madness. A lot of people came together. Where you think all the other people got it from? Where you think the Asians got it from? Where you think the white, Caucasians got it from? They got it from somewhere. They got it from the original. Always have, always got it. Just like we invented every language on the planet. We invented the English language. We invented the Arabic language. We invented the German language. The black man has invented everything. We've always come together in unification. The problem comes when people try to disunify us by spitting out madness, by saying the wrong things, by being miseducated, by allowing themselves to be miseducated and the generation after them to be miseducated as well too.
And Austin, we're gonna come to you, Devontae. I'm gonna tell you what happened. This happened just like a couple of days ago. Some folks were discussing, and they said, listen here, Caucasians got that from us. Then they went and said Mexican got this from us, and I'm just sitting like, and you just spitting it out. This was a separate conversation that I had with some other people, and there's one brother now discussing this right here, putting out that what often happens. I tell people this. I say sometimes some people get some stuff, and then they give it to you. You think it originated with them. I'm like, no, it's not. It came from you. But that's why you gotta know who you are. And that I tell people the history. History is every second of your life. Just when we got on this show, that is history. But guess what? You don't understand that history is actually life. So, brother Devontae, we'll toss it to you now.
Yeah, and I think that's a good point to touch on too. With history, is I think the issue we're having with young people is they don't value history. So, all the folks on this show right now, we know how valuable it is because it gives us um, a path forward. When we know our history, we know our trajectory and our direction moving forward in this life, especially as Black people. When we actually dig into our history that predates the history that they only want to show children in school is slavery up until now. Well, the Black man, as Austin also mentioned, has been around for way longer than any other group of people. So we need to tap into what does that look like? Where what were we doing before people even came over here, and there were people that were here even before the Europeans were here. So how do people not know that information? So once you really peel back the layers and go a little bit deeper and further back, you understand that because we are the original people, a lot of the information that everyone else has is because of us. So why not look into ourselves and dig deeper into who we are and pull that information out that's already programmed in our DNA? We walked around the planet in a superior manner, whereas a lot of people, Black people in the United States, now they have an inferiority complex, right? Everything we approach is we're second guessing ourselves instead of being confident and knowing that God has always guided our steps throughout every adversity that we've been faced with. We almost shouldn't have made it out of that mental programming and physical destruction that took place here in the United States, but we're still here and still thriving under some crazy conditions. So I think people need to go back and mentally deprogram, and then once you start there and start from a clean slate and really understand your history, then you can reprogram yourself in the image that you're supposed to be in, and that's a superior image, a confident image that you should always possess.
And excellent words from Brother Devontae Sykes. Again, this was Rontel that we said everyone share. And so I'm going to throw something out there to Austin Malik. Julius Hall going to kill you. Julius Hall is going to kill you. And I'm going to try to save you, but Julius Hall is going to kill you. Julius Hall be like, he walking around again. I told him about that last week. So I'm just saying, because I have no issue with Julius Hall now. But I got to throw this out there. And Devontae, what you said, for some of us, we going to feel like we shouldn't be there. And that's why one of the strangest things with this concept, people talk about the imposter syndrome. Yep. I cannot understand and conceptualize what in the hell is the imposter syndrome. Especially if you are African American, if you are black, ain't no imposter. You are there because you deserve to be there. Mm-hmm. Ain't no imposter. That way again, it goes right back to what you were saying, Austin. That again, and what we were saying, that you not let these other people train you, that you not think that you are an imposter. When that ain't even who you are. You're supposed to be there. Like I had somebody Monday say, my son is thinking about going to law school. And I was like, yeah, he need to go. I said, everybody need to go to law school. I said, because what it does, even if you don't practice law, it shapes your view of the world. I said, and guess what? I said, he go to law school. I said, ain't nothing to it. I said, because black folks in general can survive law school. You know why? Because they always second guess our thoughts. They always think that we don't know nothing. So from the time that you are a baby to when you even finish college, 4.0 GPA, all that, you already been dealing with that your whole life. When you graduate from high school, 4.0, you search all AP. So guess what? That ain't nothing. But guess what? If you not buy into those other people's educational system and what they tell you solely, then yeah, you think you're an imposter. And it caused you to even go and kill yourself. That's one of the horrible things that here go people who feel that they were imposters, that they were not deserving of titles and positions that they had earned. So I just want to throw that on out there to you all and get some commentary, because we got 2 minutes on that. Your thoughts. We got a minute each. Austin, your thoughts on that. Then we're going to go to a break. And then we go to Devontae.
Well, like we saying, brother, we the originators. We have to walk around with that confidence, in a sense of superiority. Not that we're superior over anyone, but just the knowledge of who we are. The knowledge of who we are is so great. The knowledge of self. That's one of the things that Elijah Muhammad always taught. The knowledge of self first. That's the greatest knowledge that you can have. Outside of ethnicity and race, the greatest knowledge that you can have is the knowledge of self. So us as a people, the more we know about who we are and where we came from, the greater we can propel ourselves into the future.
All right, Devontae.
I mean, yeah, perfect example. I mean, right now my fiance, she's going through medical school at Meharry. And, a lot of the things she deals with mentally takes a toll on her. And I understand that it's my job to, instill the information that we have into her, because she didn't have that growing up. She grew up in a household that, second guessed ability, a household that restricted her as far as being able to have different experiences where you can actually see yourself in a greater manner. You know what I mean? It kind of stifled her growth in that manner. But I came from a household to where, education and knowing who you are as far as from a historical perspective was always taught, even outside of the school system. So, I went through the traditional education system that we have now, but a lot of the things that I know and use today came from inside the home. So that's a big thing too.
And indeed, I just had a family out of Philly, and that's what the brother is saying: father, mother, and son, daughter, and with the daughter, they like said we make sure we expose her. And I'm like, okay, because that's when somebody's going to roll into it. What you're saying, Devontae, is right on point. And we got with us brother Devontae Sykes, brother Austin Malik X in the house. This is Run Tell That. And we're going to take a break right now. We're going to come right back and then further engage in this conversation.
Hey there. Are you ready to amplify your voice and embrace your passion? Tune in to Our Black Media Network, where community comes first and every story matters. We're here 24/7, delivering powerful content on everything from financial literacy to the latest in sports and mental health. We are unapologetically real, reflecting the heartbeat of our community with programs that inspire, empower, and drive change. Join us on all major media platforms to celebrate our unique voices and advocate for the change we want to see. With over 50K monthly viewers, our network is your go-to destination for authentic, engaging content. Be a part of the movement. Be a part of the change. Tune in to our Black Media Network today and let your voice be heard.
Need your garments cleaned with care and with a professional touch? Then bring them to One Price Cleaners in Garden City at the Old Farmers Market on Highway 80. Service you can count on.
We are back, and this is Run Tell That with Brother Devontae Sides, Brother Austin Malik X, and we are back with regards to having this conversation. And so Devontae says something, and this is going to be one of the things we're going to bring up with regards to having this conversation with these brothers right here. And we said, everyone checking out the show, we say support our sponsors. That is the Davis Johnson Bozeman Law Firm, offices in Savannah, Atlanta, and Statesboro. Kim's Cafe at 714 MLK Jr. Boulevard. Shep Food and Gas, don't ride by, stop by at Styles and Gwinnett Streets in Savannah, Georgia. And One Price Cleaners located in the Farmers Market in Garden City. And so now I have to throw this out there to these brothers right here. What is the job of black men regarding black women? What's the job of black men regarding black women? And when I say this, protecting black women. Now, I'm going to say this. If you go and say, you have somebody out there say, well, we don't need no protection. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the sisters who understand that, yo, we need to be doing some things. And so I'm saying this to black men who are with me right now. What is the job of the black man with regards to protecting black women, taking care, nurturing, and showcasing black women? Brother Devontae.
Definitely, as far as, when it comes to the relationship between black men and black women is black men have to, be the leaders in the situation and understand that, we have to set the tone as far as how women reciprocate our energy. So if we want certain things to go in the manner in which we, direct things to go, then we have to lead by example. And I think some black men kind of get confused to where they see that, their wife or their girlfriend or significant other isn't doing certain things that they would like. Well, we also have to lead and show her, like, this is what we're looking for. And this is what I demand in a relationship, not to have a negative connotation to that, but you have to be assertive as a black man. And once again, that goes back to understanding who we are and where we come from. So black men should, give direction in the relationship and be a leader. And when you have that, black women can, be more comfortable in the relationship and show another side of themselves that will aid the black man in his journey. So I have that in my household because I've displayed examples of knowing how to lead a family. And I have my son, he's almost 2 years old. A lot of the things that he knows right now is because I teach him on a daily basis. So whenever, whenever his mom sees that, she displays affection towards me in other ways and assists me and, goes the extra mile because she knows that the family is safe in my care. And I have the proper tools to raise another black man to be exceptional. So as we have to really go back and dig into ourselves and set the example. And Austin is familiar with that too, with the organization that, he's a part of and, was a part of, is they have tools in place to build better black men. So a lot of those tools, there's people that aren't even in the organization that we are inspired by and take direction from because that's the trajectory that we should go in. So it's all about bettering yourself. And when you better yourself, you can better your family. And then the women and mother, wife, girlfriend, however you want to position it, all the women in your family can follow your lead.
All right, we got you. So, Edward, we see you in. Edward, we want you to come on screen. Come on screen, Edward. All right, glad to have you with us. Glad to have you with us. And so, we're gonna go to you, brother. Ultimately, what is the job regarding the black man with regard to protecting black women? What's the job of the black man about protecting black women, nurturing, being there, being supportive of black women? Your thoughts with that?
I'm at a class right now. It's Wednesday night, brother Jamal. I'm pretty sure you're familiar with the Wednesday night class. We go through the book. Self improvement is the basis for community development. That statement alone, but I'm gonna go a little bit deeper. If we better ourselves, first we have to start with becoming better brothers to our sisters. Once we become better brothers to our sisters, we become better men to our women. Once we become better fathers to our daughters, we can become better men to our women. Once we become big cousins or uncles to our nieces, cousins, then we can better our women. So it all starts with us. Self improvement is the basis for community development.
Okay. So, brother Edward, glad to have you. So, the question I'm posing that as a black man, what is the job of the black man regarding the protecting, the maintaining, the supporting of black women, nurturing of black women? Your thoughts on that?
Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you guys for having me up here. I'm sorry for my tardiness, and I kind of agree with what Brother Austin was saying to get started, right? So, in order for us to be in a position to take care of anyone, right, we have to be able to take care of ourselves, right? And if we're not able to take care of ourselves, we won't be able to put our best foot forward when it comes to taking care of the women in our life, the children in our life, the elders in our life, the people that actually need it, right? So I think the first thing is making sure you're connected, of course, with your spirituality and make sure you're intact there. Make sure you're physically fit, mentally fit, make sure you're healthy, and that you're able to show up in the world as your best self. That way you're able to show up for your loved ones and those people that you care about and those causes that you care about, right?
All right. So, and I'll toss something out there just to say this and put it out to everyone looking at the show is that guess what? We should never allow black women to be disrespected. A black man is so to make sure, even if that's not your mama or your daughter or your sister or your wife or your girlfriend or your auntie or your cousin or your niece, guess what? Black men do not allow black women to be disrespected. And when you do that, just like we're going to say that paradise lies at the feet of the mother. So that means that again, it's not just your mama. That means that paradise, that you're going to heaven, going to the most, going to the afterlife, it lies at the feet on how you treat the women. And that people are going to say that you know the condition of a society based on the condition of the women. If the women are oppressing the society and disrespecting the society, guess what? That society is disrespectful and also oppressive to everyone. So black men, with regard to us and our elevated understanding, because just going back in time, we are the first one to acknowledge that there's a Most High, that there's a Creator, and we create the rituals for the Most High to acknowledge the Most High. So with that foundation that we've had before the beginning of time, that means that we have that obligation today. And so just throwing it out there to people checking out the audience, I mean checking out the show. And again, we said everyone share, share, share. But to Oliver Luca also say, you said something about Black Lives Matter and Black Votes Matter. You are absolutely correct. And that this is what this is about. We know our lives matter and get our power of the vote matters too. But now I'm going to go to this point right here. And again, Edward kind of alluded to it and threw it out there. Devontae has some elements to it too. And what is the job of the black man regarding the protection, nurturing, and maintaining of black children? I throw it to you first, Edward.
Yeah, so I think we actually come first when it comes to especially the children in the next generation, right? As black men, right, we should be leaders in our community. We should be leaders in our home. We should be leaders in the world, right? So with that being said, as a leader, you want to make sure you're cultivating the next generation and the next wave of leaders, right? So I think it's our job, number one, after we take care of ourselves, to make sure that the future generation is taken care of.
Yes, indeed. Brother Austin Malik.
I want to take you back a little bit, brother Jamal. You remember the Million Man March? You know, I wasn't born yet. The Million Man March,
Yes, sir. I
19,
remember. Yes, sir. Okay.
one of
He gonna throw in the point out. I wasn't born yet. Okay, go ahead.
one of the instructions that the minister gave was that if you couldn't have physical children, was to adopt a child and to get into foster care. So that may be kind of extreme, but first you have to start with taking care of the children in your family, the children around you. Those are the most important things. You know, the babies are the next generation. The babies are the future. You know, like the Wu Tang, you say Wu Tang is for the babies, Wu Tang is for the children. But how do we expect to see tomorrow if we don't take care of the youth today? So, yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Powerful statement. Powerful statement, brother Devontae.
I know exactly, something that Austin referenced, and I took it a little bit step further. And when it comes to adopting, you don't even have to go through the traditional process of adopting a child. You can be a father figure to children in your community, to children that want to follow the same path as you. So I actually mentor a lot of kids that want to get into the technology space, and I lend my hand out to them, share my experience, what I did in certain scenarios to help coach them up. Because I had those examples through my father, my grandfather, coaches, teachers, that were black men that actually stood for a purpose and always were committed to giving back. So I think when we take on that mindset and understand that the information that is given to us, the knowledge that is given to us comes from a place that is telling us to pass it on to the next generation, then we know we have a responsibility to do that, and we hold ourselves accountable to do that. So it always starts with understanding, that we're here for a purpose, and that's to continue to push the next generation forward so they can be greater than the previous generation. So it was some things that my dad taught me growing up. I used to recite it every morning before going to school. He said, what are my 10 two-letter words? And those were, if it is to be, it is up to me. So I'm 31 years old, and I can still remember that information that my dad planted into me when I was 8 years old. So the black man is responsible for passing on information that's vital to other black young men, but black children in general, to be able to deal with the world that we live in.
And I want to say this to Brother Bernard White. Brother Bernard White made a comment. He said that we should be on national television. We appreciate that. That's what we try to do. And that's why I say, we're going to have some powerful people on here, these powerful brothers right here. And so we're going to swing into this right here right now because we threw it out there. So now, what is the response? Oh, now I back up. One of the things that people talk history, people like to talk about young people, like young adults, tweeners, teens, and young people not knowing history and not respecting history. Guess what? It's people who are elders, people in their 50s, 60s, 70s, 40s, 30s who don't respect. And that's why I say history is every second of your life. As we began this show, that is a historical moment. That's history right there. So history is every day of your life. It's not just going back 5 years ago, 20 years ago. History happened yesterday. That's history, because when everything that you do when you sign a contract, that was history. So that's why and that's why I tell people that's how blind we are. Because you went to school and they told you that's what you should look back in the past. You better understand history is every day of your life. When you ate lunch in that cafeteria, that's history right there. Because now you know you like the pizza or you don't like the pizza. Or you like the tuna salad. That's history when you're not talking about it. So it's not 5 years ago. It was just last week. So history is every day of your life, and that you are powerful when you understand that. Because guess what? You can go and see the disparities with regard to that, and then you know how to go and address it accordingly, to not fight it or to make sure to elevate the people. So that's why I want some people out there to understand that. Because when you talking about in the past, we talking about right now. This second ago that I began talking about this, guess what? That is history, fool. So now we come to this right here. We come to this right here. So how should black men deal with, protect, nurture, support other black men, Brother Devontae?
I know, one angle that I approach that in is sharing books. So I know, one thing that has plagued us is reading comprehension and, sometimes education, and going back to the history point too. But I know they hid certain books from us. They made it unlawful for us to know how to read, or, punished us for reading and seeking knowledge, because that's one of the first lines of defense when it comes to finding information and finding more about yourself, right? So I actually set up an email address for my son to where I can communicate to him through email in this given moment. And just like you mentioned, it's a historical artifact now, to where even if I pass 10 years from now, he's 2 years, almost 2 years old. At 18 years old, he can refer back to that email and say, okay, this is what happened on August 21st, 2024. And my dad sent me this email about how to navigate what has been happening in the world. And a lot of times I send him books to read and go and get. And a book that I recently read is Black Bourgeoisie by E. Franklin Frazier. And he talks about a lot of the things that we continuously repeat because we don't understand what has happened to us before. So I think, sharing information in books, video, and now, we got social media, YouTube, sharing videos, interviews of people speaking, speeches, even from Farrakhan, that, I share with people that are going through certain issues and certain times. So just using everything at our disposal to continuously, train our minds. And, I think when we start there, we can help to, grow and nurture more strong Black men.
All right, brother Austin Malik. What is the responsibility of black men to other black men to protect, nurture, and support?
Outside of food, clothing, and shelter, being a brother, every black man the messenger said something one time. He said, every time you look at a black man, you're looking at God. So once you have that understanding, you understand that God is force and power. So when you see your brother has the forces within him and the power to actually change your situation if you can communicate it correctly. So just being a brother to ourselves, because your brother, the word brother has the word other in it. That's just your other self. So we have to take care of ourselves the same way that we would want. We have to take care of our brother the same way that we want to take care of ourselves. In Islam, you know that we say what you want for your brother is what you want for yourself. These are things that you can repeat to yourself every day, and once it's programmed in your mind, you will move out on the action. Because man is mind. So whatever you program in your mind, that's what you become as a man.
That's it exactly. And Edward, one thing I failed to do with you is ask where you from. Where you from, Edward? But also then we want to go and respond to with regards to what is the responsibility of black men to other black men? Because we don't hit black women, black children, and black men. What is responsibility to black men to other black men to help, protect, support, nurture? Where you from first?
Yeah. So I'm from originally from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, but my parents are in the military, so grew up around. Spent the bulk of the time in Jacksonville, probably around sixth grade through graduation. My family still stays there now, so Fort Lauderdale and then Jacksonville, you can say. Yep. And then so I want to actually. So when you originally posed the question where brother Austin went, that's directly where my mind went, right? So when you see your brother, ideally you should see God, right? And I try to kind of live with that, and move with that mentality, right? Of course, growing up, that's not what we were originally taught, and it was kind of more so hostile environments or playful environments, or not even just having the respect for yourself or for one another. So growing up and evolving and learning that, I think that is something key that we can, going back to the other question, instill into the younger generation. And it's kind of controversial, but not, but the message still stands. So last year I went to InvestFest, and the headliner speaker was Diddy, of course. So of course we know the things going on now, so asterisk there, whatever. But one thing that he mentioned as a headliner was, even as a billionaire, he still has issues with facing the same issues as a black man that one would say a normal black man faces, right? And he said the only thing that can counteract those things in the world is us coming together, right? So I'm saying that to say, I think the number one thing as a black man that we can do is start communicating with more with each other, start understanding each other more. Because if you don't understand someone, then it's easy to not like them. But the more you understand, the more you can come to a common ground, the more things can get handled. So as we move to a more common ground and getting more communion with our fellow brethren, I think that'll, I mean, bar none, push the tide of the society. So I think that's our responsibility as to increase the communication, to start building that camaraderie, and to actually start working together as black men in the community, as leaders of our nation as we know it, right?
Powerful words, powerful words. We got Brother Edward with us, Brother Austin Malik X, and Brother Devontae Sykes. And so somebody's checking out the show. That's Coach Robert DeLoach. Coach Robert DeLoach, he's my coach, but he does me wrong. He's a black man, but he said that's what it is, that the student cannot be better than the teacher. That's what he says. So, but that's another story for another day. But he has created something called Factory 2.0. He's been on the show, in which now he gets children to not get involved with regards to the tech aspect, the tech world, the engineering world. And so Devontae, Brother Devontae, in fact, he logged in before you started sharing some of this. And so I'm going to make sure that Brother Deloach, Coach Deloach, get your information, you get his. And so again, because it's saying that's that type of work that we do. And again, he's a black man doing what he got to do to make sure to elevate the next generations. Brother Edward is saying, and that was Brother all the awesome elite. What we're going to do right now, we're going to go to a break, and we're going to come back. This is Run Tell That with Brother Devontae, Brother Edward, Brother Austin Malik. We in the house. Share, share, share.
Hello, I'm Richard Coleman, and I'm running for the office of Sheriff of Chatham County. And when I'm elected, I promise to inspect what I expect. Chatham County, it's time for a change, and that change is me, Richard Coleman.
Oh, I mean my friend, your Savannah homeboy, Clarence Thomas, made sure that I don't go to prison.
So Julius is in there talking to Trump. Ooh, I'm telling.
We are back. We are back in the house. Got Brother Austin Malik X in the house. Got Brother Devontae Sykes in the house. And Brother Edward probably coming back in. We are right here. Run Tell That. We said everyone share, share, share. And so we got to throw this out here right now. We're going to do this right here for y'all. Y'all see what's going on? No, see, and many trying to go off right now. They got me out here picking all these scorpion knives and flossy. Promised Land got scorpion knives. Scorpion knives right here at Promised Land right now. They got, I've been out here, I've been picking scorpion knives all day. And we got scorpion knives, Flossie and her got me out here. And now Aunt Minnie, she want to try to leave right now. Promised Land. 269 Monte Road. Scorpion knives right here. All these scorpion knives right here. Guess what? Don't contact me later on by trying to get some scorpion knives. Scorpion knives here at Promised Land right now. Y'all see it, bull, grapes, bullets, whatever y'all want to call it. I'm just saying, scorpion knives. Don't tell me about no musket knives. But anyway, scorpion knives are. So, now some people see that. They think, oh, Jamal, which we do that. We promote Promised Land Farm. That's located in Monteith because we farm right there. But now there's something else because Brother Austin Malik and several of you all know people who engage in farming. And so when I say the farming, what I'm talking in particular about, what I'm looking at right now is with regards to involving health. That we go and say you can't have a revolution if you can't feed yourself. And so what happens often is that we are not feeding ourselves, and so other people now are feeding us. And so I just want to know what's your thoughts with regards to how must we take care of ourselves? How must we take care of ourselves? Because just like we discussed, self is the beginning of it all. How must we take care of ourselves? And we go to Brother Edward with regards to that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, when it take as far as taking care of ourselves, first of all, the things that we ingest in our body, right? So whether that's what we hear, whether that's the things that we're seeing, and down to the things that we're eating, most important. So they say our gut is our first brain. So if we don't take care of our first brain and have control there, then we're doomed, right? As we know now, all the illnesses and everything that we know almost negative as starts with the food and what you're ingesting, and then from there as what you're seeing and what you're hearing on a consistent basis, and these things are being programmed into you. So once we start to filter those things out, I think that would be the first step in towards moving towards a healthier lifestyle overall.
All right, getting powerful words, brother. And so now, Brother Austin Malik, I'm gonna throw this out to you with the God taking care of self. How much we take care of our mental self? How much we take care of our mental self, inclusive in the physical? I'm just gonna throw that element out there to you too. Your thoughts on that?
Okay. Okay. Well, first it starts with our thoughts, though, brother. We have to. I heard this one time. You have to think about what you're thinking. Think about your thoughts, and then once you think about your thoughts, you'll think about the things that you say. So our mental health, it starts with, how what are we being programmed with? What are we listening to? The music that we're listening to. I ain't saying, don't turn up and don't listen to your music, but at some point in time you do need to listen to some classical music or some music that's good for the functioning of the brain. There's many different theta waves and different things that you can listen to that are specifically music for the brain. So what are we hearing? What are we seeing? Of course, what are we eating? Even what we're eating is a part of our mental health as well too, because what you eat can affect how you think. One way I know, if you drink a soda versus drinking a bottle of water, that can definitely dehydrate your brain. Dementia starts with the dehydration of the body that then leads to the dehydration of the brain, and it doesn't allow you to create thoughts in order to be able to move out. So it all starts with how you are taking care of yourself internally, what you're listening to, what you're thinking about. And like I say, remember, think about your thoughts and think about what you're thinking. So yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Because when it comes down to it, just let y'all know. Because nobody can say nothing about Black or Lil Black, aka Kodak Black, around Austin Malik X. He don't play that all. He don't play that. I'm just going back in time. I'm just kidding. I guess I might say it's history. You don't say nothing. You can't say nothing about. You won't say nothing against Kodak Black. I'm just saying to all y'all out there, if y'all see him, shut it down. So, all right, Brother Devontae, with regards to, again, the emotional, the spiritual self, the enlightened self, and about maintaining. How do we maintain that? What is about how do we nurture that, protect that, again, with regards to that health? So all the other elements too, whatever you want to share.
Well, I mean, it's a simple solution that covers all of those aspects, and that's fasting. So with fasting, it gives you, like, what Austin just mentioned, it gives you the time to actually analyze the thoughts that are in your head and slow down and not move as quickly as the rest of the world is moving. We see it every day as people flying all around and they don't know what direction they're going in. You need to slow down, fast, deprogram. During the week, I don't even watch TV. There's certain music I might listen to on certain days. It's certain things that I tend to stay away from, and I might revisit it later down the road or something like that. But being mindful of what you're doing, because we all know these things tend to affect our mental health, which controls everything else, and it even controls how we deal with other people too. Those people who have bad physical health tend to have, under average mental health, and even the way that they communicate with others, they might start with aggression as opposed to coming from a position of understanding because they're not in their right state of mind. So a lot of things I've learned have come out of fasting. A lot of the accomplishments I've been able to get to have come out of fasting because it's allowed me to step back and hold myself accountable in what I'm eating, what I'm listening to, what I'm watching, how I'm interacting with other people, and my relationships with other people. So fasting is a key component. And then when you look at it, a lot of the figures in history that we tend to follow, they have that same mantra too. Fasting was a key component in their enlightenment and them receiving certain information from the spiritual world.
This what I'm talking about. This why I be telling. This why I be telling y'all. This why I be telling y'all. This why I'm saying these are the black. This, I don't care what the media tell you or what Instagram tell you or what Facebook or anything else, Twitter, X, whatever. I don't care what they say. Yo, these are the black men that I know. These are the black men that I see. These are the black men that are part of the world that I know. That with regards to success, that again, that no imposter syndrome for them, none of that caught up into the miseducation. That these are the black men. That the words that are coming out their mouths are real words. These are words that, again, are not new words. These are ancient words. These are the words from the beginning of time. What you're looking at the black man from the beginning of time. When you look at Devontae, when you look at Edward, when you look at us, you look at the black man from the beginning to who he is, who he's supposed to be. The ones who are not misguided, misled, or misinterpreted. Guess what? This is who we're supposed to be. And that's why I'm like saying, that's why I am so honored to have these brothers on the show, because the words that they're giving out there and putting out there, powerful words, that these are bombs. These are mental bombs that are being dropped right now. And so I almost got to say, anytime these brothers want to collectively come back on the show, they can come back on the show, because this is the type of conversation that I said we need to be about. This is what we need to be about. And this is what I know. We are out there. We are out there. That's who we are. And so no matter what they try to paint this misinformation, no, it's not. You got fathers, you got brothers, you got uncles, you got, brothers and, nephews, cousins, just like them. And so that's why I just want to say, tell you brothers, y'all are powerful, powerful. And that's what we do. And I got to say this right here. We will move into another element. It's just that it almost took me off, with regards to, because I'm just like saying, Yo, only with Queen Quet have we been on 3 times, the 3 segments. I'm like, these brothers right here are on par. I'm just saying, we might just have to have a third part to that we started last week. And so now that's why I'm saying this is important for the world to hear. As Bernard said it, that again, this needs to be national, that, this is what's here. These are the people that are right there. They're in your midst. The greatness is in your midst. They're in your midst. They're in Duval. Duval in your midst. And I'm like saying, we might have to continue this conversation even further. And so, but I got to come to this right here, because again, I want to get to this stuff. And why is being involved politically important to us? Why is that important? And so I throw that out to Devontae first.
Yeah, so I know we have an election, presidential election coming up, and everybody is pretty much focused on that right now. But I kind of see that as unacceptable, how the masses of us tend to only want to focus on that one election when we need to focus on who our state representatives are, who are the city officials, and know the causes and policies and initiatives that they're trying to put into place, because those are the things that are affecting our community. So I've made it my business to go to city council meetings and stand in the gap and speak on behalf of people, in my community, and introduce myself to city officials, because I know that it's actually not their job to bring in certain policies. It's our job as community leaders to tell them what to do and what to implement that, benefits us. So it's holding them accountable, holding the officials around you accountable. And then if we can get the right people in with the city government, if we can get the right people in the state government, then we can have the right presidential leader. I don't think people understand the process and how the election even goes. It's not always about popular vote either. You have to understand the electoral college and how that thing works as well. So I challenge everybody to take a step back and not only just be focused on the president, but be focused on the people right there in your community that you need to tap into and kind of change the trajectory of what's happening to our young black children too.
Yes, sir, because across the entire country, it's elections also with regards to county positions, county chairman, county district, county commissioners, and along with regards to DAs, all that is essential to us. That is important, absolutely. So, Brother Edward, we toss it to you now.
Yeah, so I share the same sentiment as Brother Devontae. I almost don't have anything else to add, right? It really starts locally, and I just encourage everyone to just get out in your community, understand what's going on in the community, understand who's running the community, understand the laws and the rules of the community, right? And then once you understand the game that you're playing, and at that point, you'll be able to start playing the game to win and start being able to create the rules of the game, right? So I think it starts there. So I agree.
Again, that's what I'm talking. As I share with y'all, these are the people that I be around. These are the type of folks that I understand. That's a part of my world. That again, this is what I'm talking about, brother Austin Malik. I'm just gonna let you continue on with it, brother.
If we're not involved in politics, then most of the stuff that's going on is just going to be happening to us, and we have no right to speak up against it. And back to what Brother Devontae said. No, let me go back to what you said, Brother Jamal, about the person that you knew that was going to study law. Of course, we should study law for the basis of the reason that we are the originators of everything. Did we forget that we invented law? We invented what it means to be righteous. That's us. That those law books are our books. That's how we conduct ourselves. We the masters of civilization. We are the fathers and mothers of civilization. So why shouldn't we study politics, and not just study? Why shouldn't we be involved? And how deep is your politics? Is your politics just going to vote, or is your politics your neighbor? Do you know your next door neighbor? Can you knock on your next door neighbor door and get a cup of sugar? I know it seems far fetched, but it shouldn't be. Do you even know your neighbor? Do you know their name? Do you know their children's name? Have they ever done anything for you? That's politics too, what we do on a day-to-day basis, on a hand-to-hand basis. But I'm gonna just rest with my original point. We're the originators of law. So everything that's going on, truly, we should be involved in when it comes to politics. And of course, it does start locally. And it starts locally with you going to vote. Yes, we should go vote. Because like I say, if stuff is happening to us and we didn't get involved when we had the opportunity to, we have no right to call out for change.
Y'all heard the wisdom. Y'all heard the wisdom. So I'm just gonna throw it out there. Y'all heard what they said. It starts local, and it just bam. This is an explosion. That's why I said. This is why I told Julius Hall. I said that's why these brothers gotta be on there and see. But I know sometimes he ain't pick up the Jews because he don't be around. But y'all throwing them Jews out there. That powerful statements that y'all were saying. And so actually, like I said, I had other stuff, but we're gonna be closing out because this is the little brother show of all the Our Black media shows. We just got 57 minutes. All the other shows got marathons and telethons. They go for like a week. One show goes for 72 hours. We just got 57 minutes. So but what I'm gonna do, because again, like I said, powerful statements from these brothers right here. And so I just throw this out there. Who were the first monarchs in the world? Is out of Africa. The first monarchs in the world out of Africa. The first planned city in the world was called Kahun in Africa. So that means that politics is a part of this right here. Government is a part, because that's who we are. And when we understand the Most High gave us to it. So what I'm gonna do right now, give you brothers a minute and a half to give any word of wisdom that y'all want to give out to the people, and then we'll be closing it on out. And we're gonna start with brother Austin Malik.
Okay, I just want to finish off my point. The Panther said something very profound that I think they got from Chairman Mao, if I'm not mistaken. And it's war is politics with bloodshed, and politics is war without bloodshed. Those are my closing words.
All right, because we at war, brother Edward.
Yeah, I just want to say, for everybody out there, the first thing is you make sure you take care of yourself, right? You want to make sure you're being a 360 human, from health, wealth, spiritual, right, mental, right? Every aspect of your life, you want to make sure you're being the best that you can, and you're showing up the best that you can be, right? Therefore, you can show up the best that you can for others, right? And it starts there. So that's what I want to leave with.
Brother Everett Whitfield in the house from Jayville side, Fort Lauderdale and Jayville, and brother Devontae Sykes.
Yeah, and just to piggyback on what Edward mentioned, the only way you can change your environment is if you change your thinking. So I encourage everyone to continuously challenge themselves and seek new knowledge. That way, you can always better yourself. And some people are hung up on getting out of situations or not having finances or not having certain skills. Well, the key to getting rid of that is knowledge, information, books, other people, mentors, and things of that nature that can help you get out of that situation. So once you change your thinking, you can change your surroundings.
That's right. That's right. Powerful words. Again, we have Brother Devontae Sykes, Brother Edward Whitfield, and Brother Austin Malik X. Glad to have them here with us. And as I'm saying, because never have we done this. If they want, we want to do a part 3 and go into economics and other things with regard to that. We can do that next week. But I'm just let them. They'll hit me up if they want to do that. I'm just throwing it out there because again, these brothers' words right here, as Bernard said, powerful words, and we need to. This need to be national, and we need to push that because y'all check it out on YouTube and all that. So, but we're gonna be signing out. This is Ron Tell That. But wait a minute. Well, for one thing, I'm gonna do this right here. I didn't do this last week. What is the best high school in the entire United States? Brother Edward Whitfield, get the answer correct, please. The best high school in the entire United States.
I don't, I don't want to say the wrong answer now. All I can say is where I graduated from. Now, I graduated from Ed White, so I'm going to just leave it right there.
No, wrong. Okay, wrong. Okay, Devontae, what's the best high school in the entire United States?
I have no idea. I don't know the best one.
You want to say Herschel V. Jenkins High School, 1800 East Durant Avenue in Savannah, Georgia. Thank you very much. So, Brother Austin Malik X, I'm not even going to ask you the question because you're going to say the wrong answer anyway. This has been Run Tell That. With Brother Austin Malik X, along with Brother Edward Whitfield Jr., and also Brother Devontae Sykes. Glad to have y'all brothers with us. And we say, check out all the shows on Our Black Media. The Rabbles coming up next. We say to y'all, peace and blessings.